A friend asked me this question: how can a narcissist plan your death, and how can you be aware? How can a narcissist plan your death, and how can you be aware of it? You're welcome to ask me questions. I'll do as many videos as I can to answer them. The whole point of starting this whole page is to help anyone who is going through abuse, especially narcissistic abuse. Now, it's a very serious issue because when we are talking about narcissism, that question my friend asked is a very pertinent question because it is indeed a mortal matter. It is a life and death issue. Now, before you even begin a relationship with a narcissist, I want you to realize this. You did not choose the narcissist. It's the narcissist who chose you. That might be humbling to hear, but it is the fact of the matter. You're not the one who chose them. They're the ones who chose you. They already saw you and determined that you would be good enough for how they operate and what they are looking out for in life. In short, they already determined before you started whatever union you are in that you have a value proposition that is suitable to their needs. By value proposition, I mean the value that is promised by your presence in their life, the value and the satisfaction they receive from using and abusing you. This value, this worth, this satisfaction is something they have promised themselves in their minds concerning you before you even got together. Whether it was in a business, whether it was in a relationship, it doesn't matter. A narcissist has already viewed you as a target and marked you as one who has the value proposition they promised themselves for narcissistic supply. So to begin answering that question, how can they plan your death and how can you be aware? You need to understand that from the word go, they had already determined before you even got into this union you're in that you are going to be their narcissistic supply. You are going to be the one who would feed them. You are going to be the one who would provide value for them until you could do it no more. Therefore, it could be argued that narcissists, from the word go, already decided that this relationship, this union would be to your detriment, to your death, and to their survival. To them, it's a survival game, and they feed on human beings. This is why in many channels you will hear them using this term energy vampires to describe narcissists. You will hear them talking about these codes, spiritual codes that they sink into you, these spiritual fangs that they bite into your neck with and suck all your energy away. You hear all these terms: energy takers, energy vampires, bloodthirsty suckers. All those are terms that are very accurate when describing narcissists. And when you come into contact with them, they have already decided that you will be their source of life by your death. So the plan starts by depleting your supply. Remember, I'm answering the question, how can they plan your death and how will I be aware? The plan starts by determining that you are depleting in your supply. In that narcissistic supply they are deriving from you, you are no longer fulfilling the value proposition that they had set out from the start. They have used you, they have abused you like the previous people they have been doing it with, and it is now time they can begin to sense that you are coming to the end of yourself. And as you are coming to this end, there is no other use for you but to destroy you and to kill you. This is difficult for a normal person to listen to because you do not think that way as a normal human being. You just don't think this way of people. You don't know there are people out here who are actually like this. They are actually wired like this. That when they see you, they are hunters after you. And it's not just a weakness. These are people who are out for your life. If you have been engaged with any narcissist, you know what I'm talking about. That friend of mine who asked me this question, that is someone who asked that question from experience. That's not just a question that can come out of the blues. For someone to say, can you plan my death? That is someone who can already tell this person is planning my death. This is the reality of living with them. I'm still answering, but I'm setting context for us to be able to understand just how severe, how serious this thing is. That by nature, the narc has already decided from the word go that you are nothing, you have no value except for to be fed on by giving your life that they may survive. This is the inevitable end. It is the inevitable end. Anyone in the world who engages with a narc has to fight for their life. So when they are planning your death, they have started to hunt for new supply already. Remember, they already started telling, for whatever reason, either they've used and abused you until you are so run down, you have nothing else to offer. And that could be the first reason they have determined that you're losing your narcissistic supply for them. The second reason they have determined that you're losing your narcissistic supply is when you begin to figure them out. Remember, narcissism is a mask. It operates in disguise. It operates in presenting a false persona to the world, to the way it really is. So when you start to figure them out, they will start to sense it. Because at the end of the day, it is a spiritual thing. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with a spiritual entity. They will sense. They don't need to be told by anybody. The spirits within them will reveal to them, and they will begin to see you have begun to figure them out. They will feel it. The moment you start figuring them out, they will feel it. That is the second reason. The third reason is you have no longer, you are no longer rather a simple target. You have begun to self-actualize. By self-actualize, I mean you're beginning to come into who you really are. You're working on yourself. You're increasing in knowledge. You're starting to do some self-improvement. You're demonstrating some independence. These these are all acts of self-empowerment. These are things that make you better. These are things that make you come alive. And when you self-actualize, a narcissist takes it as an insult. They cannot believe it. Now, remember what I'm saying. For you, these words might seem a bit off. They might seem a bit unrealistic because you don't think this way as a normal person. Even when you're angry, even when you're mad, you don't think this way. Therefore, you don't believe it possible that people like this exist, especially not people who have such a false mask and had convinced you differently all this time that you knew them. So when I come and I say to you, self-actualizing is a declaration of war to a narcissist, you wonder, what is this guy talking about? But anyone who has been entangled with a narcissist understands this to be true. The moment you begin to become better, the narcissist takes it as an insult. Because you're not supposed to be getting better. You're supposed to be dying so that I can survive. You're supposed to be doing bad so that I can do better. And that is exactly and the only way a narcissist thinks. And you must pay for it. In the narcissist's mind, you must pay for it. How dare you self-actualize? How dare you improve? How dare you become a better you? How dare you? I had already relegated you to this box or this definition or these limits in my mind. How dare you try? This is how they're thinking. How dare you try to self-actualize? And they become very insulted by the fact that you can think, you can entertain the idea in your mind that you are alive for any other purpose apart from their satisfaction by your distraction. So I'm still answering the question. And this is how the process of planning your death starts to intensify. By that context I have set down. So the method or the progression by which this will take will first be by devaluing you. By devaluing you, I mean they will start questioning your worth, and they will start making you question your worth by every decision that you take. It doesn't matter. It could be the best decision you've ever made. It could be the best accomplishment you've ever made. But they disregard it. When you're about to celebrate an achievement, they always have a comeback for it. When you're about to start a business, they always have something negative to say. When you achieve something, they always have something negative to say about it. And most importantly, when you become better, they will make sure they make you feel worse. And they will ensure they will find any weakness. Because anyway, no one is perfect in this world. But remember, when you're dealing with these people, you're not dealing with weaknesses. You're dealing with devils. So this narcissist in your life will decide to do everything in their power to cause you to doubt yourself, to cause you to doubt your morals, to cause you to doubt your achievements, to doubt your intelligence. They devalue you by questioning your worth. The other way they devalue you is by invalidating you. any concern you have, they invalidate. They do not admit, they do not treat you as an equal in anything. They do not treat you as an equal in anything and in any way. So they invalidate any attempts that you make to try and prove a point or to try and demonstrate value. If they've wronged you, for example, they will not accept it by any chance. They invalidate your achievement, they invalidate your needs, they do not provide for you. Even if you're sick, they get angry. And I want you to note that point. When you're sick, a narcissist gets angry because they are going to spend money on you. So they invalidate your circumstance, they invalidate your health, they invalidate your views and your opinions. This is the devaluation phase. Again, they devaluate you by gaslighting you, by telling you your reality is not your reality, by proving to you by words and by actions that what you see is not what is. In fact, more developed narcissists even use the words, "I'm validating you," while still validating you. But their validation comes by gaslighting you. Understand? They come and deny your reality by what they say and by what they do. When you say, "This is what is happening, this is what you did to me," they say, "No, no." In fact, they might even say, "I love you very much. Why are you saying this? You know that I love you." They are treating you like hell, but they are telling you, "I love you," which is one of the worst. That's actually one of the worst forms of, one of the highest expressions of narcissism, and one of the worst treatments a narcissist can ever give to you. When they have developed in their narcissism to that point where they can come and say to you, "I love you," while demonstrating utter hate by their words and by their actions. Another way is by intermittent reinforcement, what we call intermittent reinforcement. This means that they kind of give you positive feedback as they ready you for negative feedback or negative treatment. So it's a mixture of negative treatment and positive treatment. Alternatively, they come and abuse you to high heaven, and then the next day they behave like nothing happened yesterday. They come and beat you up today, then tomorrow they buy you a gold chain or a diamond ring. They come, they beat you up, they go, they play you, they go, they undo you, they go, they break all their promises, all their part of to keep. They do not keep all those things. They do not treat you well. They abuse you, they insult you, they gaslight you, they are harsh to you, they what is called crazy making conversation. They do that with you a lot. And then the following day, they buy you a phone and act as if nothing happened. They don't apologize. They just come and act as if nothing happened. That is intermittent reinforcement. It's one of the most potent tools they use during devaluing you. The other way is by silent treatment. If they are a covert narcissist, this is how they begin to plan your death. If I'm silent, if I'm quiet, if I just go quiet on you and treat you as if you're dead, well, you cannot go outside and say to people, "This person is killing me," but they are killing you. So a covert narcissist is usually described as the narcissist who kills you with 1,000 cuts. because it's not really what they do, it is what they don't do that kills you. Because in a relationship, we cannot be in a high stakes relationship, say a parental relationship or a romantic relationship or a business venture or such like just any high stakes union. We can't be in a high stakes union and you just go silent on me because I didn't do what you want. This is actually this was one of the ways that my ex-wife used to deal with me. That's how she used to express her covert narcissism. There was a time she did not talk to me for, 4 months. Imagine you're married to someone who doesn't talk to you for 4 months. For 4 months, they haven't talked to you. And it's for nothing you've done. They can't even spell any wrong you've done. Then she only used to uh, call me once, and it's a call. Just when I'm about to get paid, when I'm about to get my salary. No, she won't even greet you. Imagine for 4 months you do not talk to me. You only call me at the end of the month, and when I pick up the phone, you don't even say hi. You just say I want money, and it doesn't even matter how much money you give them. Nothing is ever enough. That's one other way they kill you by 1,000 cuts. No matter what you give them, it is never enough. Like my wife, I used to tell her, so how much do you want? Because nothing is enough. She cannot spell out because I was giving her more than most women ever will get. But like you understand the point is not the amount that you give. The point is there is nothing you will ever do that is enough. And I cannot specify how much or what you should do, how much love, how much money, how long you should do this, how far you should go there. There's no specific. It's just that whatever you do, no matter how much you give, no matter how far you go, no matter what, it will never be enough. That's the whole point. It's the death by 1,000 cuts. Serious devaluation. So this is how they are planning your death. Also, with threatening you with private information, especially when you're dealing with an overt narcissist in this case, or these charismatic narcs who come and in the first love bombing phase, which not everyone gets, but if your covert is a covert narcissist, you probably were love bombed the first time you met. And when they love bombed you, they made sure that they broke down your defenses, caused you to believe them, caused you to be vulnerable with them. And you did all that in the name of love. You gave them private details, you gave them private information, you sent them your pics, you sent them your vulnerable pictures, you understand. And I'm not saying anything about how you should do your romance or not, but I'm just saying when you're dealing with a narcissist, these things that you give in the name of love or that normal people use for expressing love, for them, they are weapons. And when they start devaluing you, those are the threats they will use. Okay? So that's how they kill you. Because they come, they abuse you, they either by omission or commission. They abuse you either by what they do or what they don't do. And even when you begin to realize or when you begin to self-actualize, or even when you now start to demonstrate that you would speak up if necessary, or you would seek help, either you would go to therapy or you will start exposing them before other people, before your friends and whatnot. These are the things they will use to keep you silent. You remember the guy or the chick, they have your notes. You remember the guy, the chick, you told them this about that. They have access to your bank account. They can punish you if you do this. They know how they have set themselves up in such a way that it literally paralyzes you from even trying to get up when you start to realize what's going on. This is how they're planning your death. So another way they plan your death, we are talking about devaluation, serious devaluation here, is by lying. If there is a word that is synonymous with narcissist, is the word lie. Lying is their second language. You remember, their whole life is a lie, right? The whole life of a narcissist is a lie. Whatever you know of a narcissist is a mask. It's not them. Man, woman, doesn't matter. Anything you know of a narcissist is simply the false persona they have created to be able to push themselves in this life. Therefore, keep in mind the lies they tell about you, the lies they tell about others, all those things, all those things demonstrate an attempt at your total destruction. And make no mistake about it. This is what is happening. Your life is what is at stake. Another way they kill you, or the another way they plan to kill you, is by withholding information. All right. When you find a narcissist withholding either your stuff or information that they know that you need. And I know at this point, this is a light bulb moment for you. If you've never really picked this up, but now you're hearing it and it's making sense to you. When you reflect on your life and your interaction with this narcissist, and you've realized how in their pursuit, their desperate pursuit to control you and keep you under their palm, like tied to a leash like their nice little puppy or pet, they withhold information that is important for you, especially if it does not achieve for them narcissistic supply. If it is information that will make you better, if it is information that will self-actualize you, they will withhold it. And that's no less than killing you, because in this world, you require that information. You know how that information is important to you. Apply this, extrapolate this knowledge to your case, and consider what I'm saying. You know this person had information that was very pertinent to your professional advancement. They denied you that information. You know this person knew something they should have told you to maybe solve an issue with your family or to solve an issue with your struggle or something, and they did not give you that information. You know there is information that has even been dispensed. They've been sent to give you information by someone or a system or an organization or whatever. They did not give you that information. Either they pretended that they forgot, or they outrightly, if you already realize who they are, just said no. Or if they are trying to really make you, really, really piss you off, they decide for you that you don't need that information. And that's the reason they treat you like a child. To a narcissist, you're a child. You're not equal. You can't be equal to them. And when they are trying to destroy you, they decide your fate, and they decide for you what you need and what you don't need. It doesn't matter if it's an official letter that came to the email. They read it and they decide you don't need it. It's not you who decides for yourself. Or they go and maybe your parents or your cousins or your friends or maybe members at your church. It doesn't matter. Like this friend I used to have, in quotes enemy, frenemy. And this guy I used to live with, but he was the guy who was actually stopping my progress, my professional progress. When I was about to get a job, he was the one who would go tell that person, no, 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 the team can't do this job. It's too high for him. Because in his mind, he's like, what if team gets this job? That would mean team would be making more money than me. That would mean team would be able to become independent. That would mean team would be able to self-actualize. He will not need me anymore. I won't be able to abuse him anymore. So they withhold information from you. And they also withhold your stuff. Go and watch videos on why do narcissists refuse with your clothes. When this first happened to me, experiencing people who are refusing with my clothes, like this narcissist I'm talking about, I did not even know that is a characteristic of narcissism until I stumbled upon a video on YouTube, and it was explaining how, and I'll go into detail later about this but I just wanted to mention, if you see them withholding either information or stuff from you, because if they can keep your clothes under their control, they can maintain your image in society, right? If someone knows you need these clothes, that means if I am withholding these clothes from you, I am stopping you from moving the way you should move in the world. And even if you move, I am preventing you from having the image that you should have in the world. Because if you don't go out looking nice, looking professional, looking decent, the first impression as human beings is the first impression is what we mark onto. The first impression is more important than anything whenever we meet people. And so if they can control your clothes, they can control, say, your professional clothes. It means you won't have clothes when you're walking into an interview that present you as a decent, competent, disciplined, well-groomed person. So they control your image. This is killing you, because without that job, you will starve. Make no mistake about it. It is killing you. They are killing you. You are very right by asking that question. Can they plan your death? And how to be aware. So let me finish by answering. I know the video is getting long, but this is for your life. This was a very important video. I'm speaking out of my heart to people. I'm not speaking because I'm the best speaker. I'm not speaking to you because I know everything, or because I can articulate everything in the best way. But it's my heart for people. It's because I care about you. Those who can speak, those who are very brilliant, are doing nothing for you. So someone has to stand up and do it. Anyway, that's just a by the way. I don't know. I know it's very spiritual. You see that there's someone who would watch this and get to that point and be like, why is this person speaking? He thinks he's so smart. No, it's not because I'm so smart. It's because human beings have intrinsic value as human beings. Having been created by God, everyone has value because they are human beings, and nobody should abuse anyone. No one should imprison, no one should enslave anyone in this life. Men and women should be free, and their lives should not be used for narcissistic supply. That is my passion. That's why I do what I do. So yes, how do you know? How will you be aware that they are planning this? First, they will do it by what we call flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are narcissistic sympathizers. They are the people that the narcissist has recruited, the people that they have convinced to believe them. They could be family members, they could be friends, they could be professional colleagues, they could be anyone that either by their charm or pretense victim have convinced um, that you are the problem. And when you see that among your circles, your common circles of influence, your friends, your church members, your colleagues, your family members, when you start seeing them looking at you funny, when you start seeing them behaving funny, they used to talk to you, they don't talk to you anymore. They used to call you, they don't call you anymore. They used to care about you, they don't care about you anymore. Know for a second, this is how you start to be aware that this person is now preparing that final blow. They have been talking to them behind the scenes. When a narcissist is planning your execution, you're usually the only one who is not aware. They have told everyone everything, and they have groomed them and convinced them and created situations that cause or make that thing believable. And they do it deliberately. They scheme. They do it for months, sometimes for years. They go around, they spoil your name, they destroy your reputation, they create a picture among your circle of a person who is like this and like that, who is not you, by the way. But they convince these people and give them some incentives even, because they are master manipulators. They give them whatever incentives. If it's a boss, they can promote these other flying monkeys that they're trying to turn against you, or they can give them tips or salary benefits or something like that to cause them to believe. If it's at church, for example, uh, a church leader might promise this one, that position, or that leadership position, or that benefit. Uh, if whatever they say to you about them, or if whatever they say to them about you, those people will be willing to receive and believe. And so sometimes flying monkeys are innocent, sometimes they are not, because by your distraction, they also have something to gain. If you start seeing your friends turning on you for no reason, and if you start seeing them very willingly believe this narcissist, or sometimes they are not even aware what narcissism is. They just believe it because they are ignorant. They do not really know how serious an issue they are dealing with and how depraved a person they are actually talking to. They do not realize they are talking to a demon. But when you see it, regardless, and sometimes if it's maybe you've been abused until you want a divorce, they are the ones who are sent to come to start convincing you to go back. You see people trying to talk you back into death, into a situation that is literally killing you. And they treat you as if you are the problem if you save your life. When you see such things, and I could go on and go on, but it's because time is now, I don't like doing more very long videos at this point in time because the channel is very new, but this is important information because it is for your life and it is for your friend's life. Subscribe, share this information. Don't just keep it to yourself. These are the things you look out for to be aware that this person has been planning your death. Stay hard, stay blessed. This has been Narcissist Denied. Let's keep talking.